Overnight, Ipman directs members in Borno State to suspend operations and short filling stations. President Muhammadu Buhari meets CBN Governor Emefiele and concerned governors over naira scarcity in the country. And World Health Organization says death toll in Turkey-Syria earthquake may rise to 20,000. It's a pleasure to have you join us on News Now this evening. I am Simisola Adigo. The Borno chapter of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has directed members to suspend all operations. The announcement comes a day after the association appealed to the federal government for more time to sell petroleum products at the official price of 195 naira per litre. In a statement signed on Tuesday by IPMAN chairman Mohammed Kulu, the marketers were also ordered to suspend payment of ordering products from source until further notice. The association said the decision followed the critical situation as it affected its sourcing and selling of products at loss and the action of the authority to impose the selling of the products at a loss price on its side. Well, to speak more on this development, oil and gas expert Bala Zaka joins me on the news. Now, given the problems that the country is facing at the moment, brought about by the scarcity of fuel coupled with the scarcity of naira notes, isn't this plan by IPMAN to down tools in Borno State going to worsen the current situation in the state?
Definitely, it is going to worsen the current situation in the state. But who do you blame? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, as a loyal Nigerian and somebody who has some good understanding of the dynamics in the downstream sector of the Nigerian oil and gas industry, I am blaming the government. I am blaming the leaders. I think there is a need for us to define and explain who leaders are. To me, leaders are fellow citizens that other citizens have elected and handed over their economic, political, and social destinies for them to manage for us in national interest. So if things are not working fine, you don't blame anybody, you blame the leaders. Because IPMAN is an independent organization. IPMAN is a private body. Members of IPMAN are not those to take care of citizens. Members of IPMAN are not those to provide goods and services. Members of IPMAN are after profit maximization and cost minimization. It is the government of a country that is supposed to take care of our citizens. And some of us have been saying it, that this deregulation will destroy the economy of this country. Some of us also pointed out that for a country that built a refinery in the last 30 years, and strategic sectors are needing energy, and that country does not have more than 10 megawatts of electricity, and that country again has more than 200 million citizens in population, there is no way that country will not suffer. Nigeria went into democracy as far back as 1999. We're talking about 24 years now. Even if it will take 10 years to construct a refinery, by now, Nigeria should be having functional refineries, at least 2 new refineries, in addition to the 4 old ones. If those things were happening, we won't be talking about importation. We won't be talking about crisis with IPMAN in any part of the country. So to me, it's purely the fault of the leaders and by extension, the government.
Now, do you think that this move by IPMAN is likely to spread to other parts of the country?
Because what is happening to us in Nigeria is a problem of energy crisis. If you go to neighboring countries, they may be having electricity. So for them, if they are getting diesel, they are looking for diesel or petrol, they will be looking for diesel or petrol to run their cars and trucks. But in the context of Nigeria, we don't have electricity. So it is the petrol or diesel that people are using to run their barbing saloon, their business centers, and their hairdressing saloon and other ancillaries. So if IPMAN cannot operate in a profitable manner, of course, Ipman will abandon everything. And if Ipman does that, of course, there will be economic hardship. And once that economic hardship comes on, we are likely to experience social disorder. And other Ipman members and Moman members may be watching what's happening in Borno State. And you know, they are a very strong union. And if this thing happens, the economy of the country will be brought to its knees. So in national interest, our leaders should please do something. They should call Ipman or Moman or whoever to a roundtable discussion. And it is high time we try to fix our refineries internally and save ourselves from exchange rate pressures and also internal crises with those who will have helped us internally like Ipman, Moman, and other bodies.
Balazaka oil and gas experts, many thanks for your time and your contribution. Moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari has met with Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, over the scarcity of Naira notes in the country. Also present at the meeting were the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, Aminu Tambuwal, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Atiku Bagudu, the chief of defense staff, Lucky Rabo, and Abdul Rashid Bawa, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The president was initially billed to meet all members of the Nigerian Governors Forum to deliberate on the scarcity of the new Naira notes. It was later gathered that the meeting was cancelled while Buhari opted to meet with the representatives of the governors. Now, as the pressure and chaos of the Naira scarcity in the country increases, residents in Kaduna State say they have become cash-strapped due to the challenge to access money from their accounts. Speaking with TV360 Nigeria, residents of the state say life has become difficult while they have to endure standing in long queues at banks or pay extra to point-of-sales operators in order to get cash to spend. They appeal to the government to consider their plight and find solutions to the problem.
Everything is just a mess. Like me as a student, I'm really going through a lot. You can't even buy anything, and most times when you're even going to places to buy stuff, the people that you're buying from, they'll tell you that they want cash, and then you're trying to make a transfer. The network is bad, like bank network, MTN network, everything is just bad. Like this country is just a mess. So we're really going through a lot. I just pray things get better.
I will not lie to you. It's stressful. Some of us have been here for like 10 hours. I myself, I came here since 5 a.m. this morning. It's not up to 15 minutes that I just got money. So like I said, it's stressful, really, really stressful.
Since this morning around 7, we are here. With our money, we cannot collect our money. See pregnant women, see like my age now, look at me since morning. I was studying. Is it good like that? It's not fair. With your own money. Even yesterday I went to the market to buy things. Before I could buy what I want to buy, it's very, very difficult for me. I see I should cry. Government should help us. It's our country.
This Nigeria, I don't know where you are going to. Imagine, they asked us to take our money to bank. They went and take all the whole money inside bank. Now we don't have cash. There's no market. Everywhere is so dry because people don't have cash to buy things. Yesterday I want to say something because there's no cash, the person did not buy again. So as I'm talking to you now, I don't have 1 naira in my pocket.
The federal government has slammed opposition political parties for going to court in a bid to restrain President Muhammadu Buhari from stopping, extending or interfering with the Naira swap deadline date. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, gave the condemnation on Monday in Abuja at the PMB scorecard series in the 2015 to 2023 session amid the hardship that has trailed fuel supply disruptions and the recent redesigning of the Naira. The minister said the federal government was mindful of the inconveniences currently being endured by citizens as a result of the fuel supply disruptions and the currency redesign, saying the government was working assiduously to restore normalcy to the critical enablers of economic activity and to take added measures where necessary to alleviate the pains of Nigerians. Meanwhile, a federal high court in Abuja has discharged and acquitted Jide Omokore, chairman of Atlantic Energy Drilling Concepts Nigeria Limited, of fraud allegations. Omokore, an ally of a former petroleum minister, Diezani Alison Madueke, was arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) alongside Victor Briggs, Abiye Membere, and David Mbanifo on a 15-count charge on July 4, 2016. Although Omokore was acquitted of the charges by the court on Tuesday, his co-defendants were found guilty and convicted. They were alleged to have fraudulently diverted about $1.6 billion, alleged to be part of proceeds of sales of petroleum products belonging to the federal government. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, has attended a meeting with the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to discuss how best to address the situation. In his address, Yakubu, who was accompanied by 11 INEC national commissioners, said the commission is challenged by the Naira change policy, as there exist lots of services the commission must render with cash, while most of the logistics services that would be needed in the elections would be rendered by the unbanked and relying on cash payment. In his response, Emefiele assured the commission that because of the premium of the CBN placed on the elections, the CBN will make whatever is needed available for INEC to pay for its logistics. As the date for the general elections draws closer, the Nigerian media has been charged on being non-partisan in the reportage and playing its role as a watchdog in the polls in a bid to protect the nation's democracy. The Director General of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, Abubakar Suleiman, gave the charge at a capacity workshop organized for journalists on Monday. Suleiman added that although the new Electoral Act 2022 prohibits and prescribes penalties for the use of abusive language, which is likely to provoke violence during campaigns, security agencies are yet to implement the provisions of the law.
Section 97, Section 91 prohibit campaigns or slogans that tainted with abusive language that directly or indirectly injure religious, ethnic, tribal, or sectional feelings. In addition, it promotes or it prohibits using abusive, intemperate, slanderous, or base language or insinuation or innuendos that are likely to provoke violent reactions or emotions. It also prescribes penalties for breaches, yet no politicians or political party has been charged to court despite abundant evidence of blatant contraventions of this provision by people from all parties. I'm saddened that the three leading political parties in this country are guilty of this offense, and nothing has been done to them.
As political and parliamentary correspondents, or if you like, journalists, I believe this training will go a long way in preparing us ahead of this crucial national assignment of covering the 2023 general elections. Secondly, the redesign, or I would say the new Naira note, is a very topical issue today because it has affected Nigerians across board, and choosing it as one of the topics to be discussed here is timely and quite commendable.
With the general elections so close ahead, and also the formation of the 10th Assembly, the relevance of your work becomes once more very apparent. And the Nigerian media is one of the most important institutions in the country. I said this in the past and I will continue to say this: its relevance cannot be underestimated. And in light of what some call historic elections or make or mar elections in Nigeria, it is critical to prepare those tasked with reporting about the elections with relevant background information as well as technical knowledge.
President Muhammadu Buhari has called on member states of the African Union to imbibe the culture of peer review and peer-to-peer learning for proactive and strong leadership in the continent. The president made the call at the launch of the Second Country Review Report and the National Program of Action of Nigeria. Describing the document as important to Nigeria as a country built on true federalism and good governance, the President directed ministries, departments and agencies to implement the report. He said that the report would strengthen the implementation of the African Union Agenda of 2063, the strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of the continent over the next 50 years.
I am very much aware of the 5 pillars of African peer review mechanism: democracy and political governance, economic governance, socio-economic governance, corporate governance, and cross-cutting issues, which are the nucleus of good governance, and upon which the second review was conducted. I am aware of the high commendations of Nigerian best practices worth of emulation, such as A, electoral reform, B, pension reform, C, tax law reform, D, digitalization of performance management system, E, judiciary reform, F, institutionalization of corporate governance, G, monetary policy reform, and H, fight against corruption. Your Excellencies, distinguished personalities, we are all called to be reminded that the report will strengthen the implementation Agenda 2063, which is a strategic framework for the socio-economic transformation of the African continent over the next 50 years. It comes with a strong mandate on NAPAD and the African peer review mechanism, especially now that the continent is gearing towards the implementation of second 10-year development plan to consolidate and seek the acceleration of better society.
We'll take a break here, but still to come, Chinese schools and universities ready to resume classes after end of zero COVID policy. We'll bring you more details after this break. Stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places, the Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has directed members to suspend all operations in Borno State and suspend payment of ordering products from source until further notice. The association said the decision followed the critical situation as it affected its sourcing and selling of the product at a loss and the action of the authority to impose the selling of product at a loss price on its side. We also told you that President Muhammadu Buhari has met with Godwin Emefiele, governor of the central bank, over the scarcity of naira notes in the country. Also present at the meeting were the Governors Forum, Aminu Tambuwal, the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Atiku Bagudu, the chief of Defense Staff, Lucky Rabo, and Abdul Rashid Bawa, the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Now, in case you missed any of our news bulletins or for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we're at TV360 Online. Schools around China are starting their new semesters following the abrupt pivot away from the zero-COVID late last year. New rules will be in place to monitor children's health when classes resume for the first time since pupils were sent home and told to take lessons online in November amid a surge in cases. Health authorities have also ordered schools to monitor staff and pupils' health, prepare medical supplies, set up fever clinics, and establish a mechanism to keep track of the situation. Currently, health centers around the country have reported no new variants, and most places have passed the peak of infections. We'll go on another break here and return with business updates. To stay with us. Welcome back. Mary Kanu is on standby with business updates. Over to you now, Mary.
Thank you, Simisala. Hello and welcome to Business News. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, has held a media luncheon to advocate better reportage and show support to media partners. The event held in Ikeja had various media outfits in attendance, as well as members and officials of MAN. Speaking at the event, President of MAN, Francis Meshoye, said the association has been working rigorously to provide a conducive environment for manufacturers, investors and businesses in Nigeria to thrive, even with the current economic challenges. Other stakeholders called on the federal government to prohibit the importation of substandard materials and promised to engage the new administration come May 2023 for better implementation of the association's agenda.
MAN is also being strategic in its engagement during this electioneering year to place its issues on the front burner. They have engaged the presidential aspirants of the importance of having a virile and competitive manufacturing sector. They have equally pushed at different fora with major political contenders to incorporate the need to accelerate the growth and development of the manufacturing sector in the economic agenda. In this regard, we have availed all the political parties with our blueprint for the accelerated development of manufacturing in Nigeria, as well as the agenda for the manufacturing in Nigeria for the next 10 years. During my tenure as president, with the support of the Secretariat, the association will reinvigorate its advocacy focus on the following mandates. 1. To improve evidence-based advocacy through proactive engagement with legislators, policymakers, regulators, and other stakeholders.
Manufacturing is becoming such an endangered profession, if you may put it that way. And we have always said that manufacturing is not a business endeavor like every other one. It's a deliberate choice that every country has to make. There's no country in the world that has become developed, that has become prosperous, that does not have a viral manufacturing process. The services that you have limitation in terms of the people they can engage. And no matter how sophisticated the IT sector is, you need some hardware that will be able to carry whatever it is that you are deploying. So manufacturing needs to be prioritized. And for us, it is a question that Nigeria has to make. The new administration must ensure that they do not go business as usual, and they should not pay lip service to the development of the manufacturing sector.
We'll take a short break now and return with Stock Market Report. Well, despite high hopes and expectations, the Nigerian Exchange Limited closed negative. The first bearish trade in weeks as the market appreciated by 0.13%, but is still in the 54,000 level. Now, in the aggregate, 114 NGX listed equities participated in trading, ending with 20 gainers and 26 losers. Japan Gold led the losers counter and was closely followed by FCMB with combined 4 Naira losses. Now, despite the losses, today's data shows improvement in volume and turnover as 200 million volume of shares were traded in 4,380 deals. Let's now see how some global stocks are faring. The Dow Jones and Nikkei are witnessing mixed trading due to lack of economic indicators to influence market sentiment and are trading down at 0.14% and 0.030%. Well, that's the stock market report. Semisola, back to you.
Thanks, Marianne. On the global scene, the World Health Organization says up to 20,000 people may die as a result of the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. The death toll from the earthquake stands at almost 4,500 people as of Tuesday. The WHO Senior Emergency Officer for Europe, Catherine Smallwood, said the fatality figure might reach 8-fold in the coming weeks. On Monday, a 7.8 magnitude of earthquake hit Turkey with a ripple effect in the neighboring country of Syria. Shortly after, a second earthquake of about 7.5 magnitude struck. The first earthquake, which sent tremors across the region, is one of the strongest to hit Turkey in more than 100 years, and it came as the Middle Eastern country is expecting a snowstorm expected to continue until Thursday. We'll take another break here to take entertainment report. Stay with us. Afro-pop singer Tems has earned her first Grammy Award for her contribution to Future's hit single Wait For You in the Best Melodic Rap Performance category. Tems, whose vocals were sampled on the single, also features Canadian rapper Drake. Meanwhile, fellow singer Burna Boy lost his nominations in both categories. The African giant was beaten by Japan's Masa Takumi to win the Best Global Album category and South Africa's Zake Bantwini, Wuta Kalaman and Nomsembo Zikode to win the Best Global Music Performance category. The 65th Grammy Award hosted the world's greatest artist at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles on Sunday, February 5. Parents of 4 students of the University of Port Harcourt killed in Alu community in 2012, codenamed Alu 4, have urged seasoned blogger Linda Ikeji and Netflix to suspend the planned premiere of their new movie titled Dark October, which centers around the murder of the 4 students. The families, through a rights group, the Integrity Friends for Truth and Peace Initiative, said Linda Ikeji made the movie about their late children without consulting them. The executive director of the initiative, Livingstone Weche, emphasized that the movie is the story of a true event, adding that the families ought to have been consulted before the production. He therefore charged the companies involved to stop the planned premiere and make an effort to meet the families of the 4 late students. Well, that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now. And in sports, Real Madrid legend Raúl has allegedly turned down the stunning opportunity to succeed Jose March as Leeds United manager, according to reports in Spain. Now, according to this report, Leeds approached Raúl to take charge at Elland Road following March's exit. However, the Real Madrid Castilla manager is understood to have declined the offer as he thinks the timing is not ideal. March, who replaced Marcelo Bielsa last February, was axed from his position at the Premier League strugglers after Leeds' 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Leeds have been without a win in their last 7 Premier League matches, with the club languishing in the 17th place in the league table. Well, that's our package this evening. Many thanks for watching. I am Simisola Adigun. Bye for now.